Sherry. How are you doing today?
Great. Good to see you, Shelley.
This is Rochelle Cornelius reporting from Digital Mill Media, live podcast of local artists, authors, and creators. And today we have Sherry Lynn Harris, who is Amazon's #1 seller with her book, Adapting to Alzheimer's, When Your Parent Becomes Your Child. And we're just going to talk a little bit about who you are and how you decided to write this book. And just tell me a little bit about yourself. How did you get into this?
My mom was diagnosed with Alzheimer's in her mid-60s, and as I became involved in what it would take to carry her through this journey, I realized that I needed a guidebook. I needed something that was appropriate for children taking care of parents, and at the time, the only information out there was for spouses. And I also wanted to provide support because there were so many times I would wake up in the middle of the night scared and wondering how I was going to face the next challenge. And I thought it would be really helpful for people to have a book that they could just have on the shelf, go to it and feel reassured. They can look up in the index whatever their problem is and get some ideas of things that worked in real life situations. And although each person's individual, since it worked for this person, maybe it would work for your situation as well. And so really, I'm hoping that this is a great support for people who are going through the process, who want to do the right thing, but maybe aren't quite sure what the right thing is. This discusses ethical situations, remuneration, how to talk to the doctor, and all the information that you need.
That sounds great. I know when I am ever going through trouble, having a book on the shelf is one of the easiest things to just pick up and really center yourself, get a little bit more of information in a calm, format. I know I've been to some of Sherry's conferences myself, and seeing the lighthearted way that she talks about this heavy disease and the way people are transformed after coming into the conference with a heavy heart and leaving with smiles and feeling like there's, a light at the end of the tunnel. It's been really transformative and just interesting to see people being so moved by a book and having this light.
Thank you so much. That's my intention, is to help shift their perspective from everything that's wrong to everything that's right. Because as you move through each stage of the disease, there are different things that you can do to create joy and to have wonderful experiences together. But if you're not focused, if you're waiting for some miracle to happen, you're missing all of the little miracles that are happening every day. So you don't want to wait to take her out to eat at a restaurant to the point where she can't remember how to get in and out of the restaurant booth. Mm-hmm. And you don't want to wait to take her on a beautiful drive until she can't remember how to get in and out of the car. Mm-hmm. So it's a way to explore different ideas on what could be fun. For instance, women who did a lot of sewing in their past, they like the little cards that you get for children that have shoelaces as the thread, and you sew in between the holes. Mm-hmm. And that's a very calming, supportive pastime for them. So I talk about different objects, different things that you can do at each stage to create memories that you will have to share for all the times that you've spent together. And it is a rewarding and wonderful experience, but it helps to have this book to help you keep centered on the positive aspects, because there's a lot of negative ones as well.
Yes, that's one of the things I really noticed about the meanings of your book. It's really to keep an open heart. It's not to shut off emotionally when you realize a family member or loved one has this disease or is early onset, is to really open your heart and take it in as a loving and caring thing instead of shutting off and being angry, because that's going to do more harm to the patient, just make things worsen. If you're loving and you're open and you do things that you can do together in a positive way, they're not only going to have a delay of the effect of the disease, but also you can enjoy it yourself as well.
One thing I tell caregivers is that it's very important to make a conscious choice, that this is a life you are choosing to help care for your loved one. Because if you don't, you tend to build up resentments against other siblings or relatives that aren't helping you with this project. But if you first choose that this is what you want to do, then the universe rushes in to support you. It's like in Star Wars where Yoda says, there is no try, only do. You can't just try this. You have to do it, and you have to do it on a regular, consistent basis. But the rewards are many, and I want to encourage people to do everything that they can to relate to their loved one at each stage, to accept them at whatever stage they're at, whether they be acting like a parent or a teenager or a child, whatever state they're in, to just love them and to interact with them at that stage and to create joy.
To make it a joyful experience. That's a number one key component in this book. And, it's just something that it is a choice. You can either choose for it to be a non-pleasant experience, or you can choose the last, 5 to 10 years of their life remembering it joyful experiences together.
Well, I know that one person who had heard my talk said that she felt she was doing the best that could possibly done. And she realized that what she was focusing on was all of the medical requirements, making sure they got the right medication, making sure they went to the bathroom on time. And yet, she said, I wish I had known how important it was to take the time to really relate to my father, to really spend times of joyful moments with him. So it's important.
That sounds great. Well, thank you so much for coming to talk with us today. Just one last thing. Where could we find your products? Where can we find more information about you? Some conferences, talks, book signings. Where are you online?
My website is adapt2alz.com. So that would be adapt, the number 2, and then ALZ, which is short for Alzheimer's, because no one seems to remember how to spell it. So adapt2alz.com. That has my CD on it, Serenity Visualizations, which is a way to take a mini mind vacation from all your troubles. And my book, Adapting to Alzheimer's, is 5 stars on Amazon.com, and it's available also as an ebook version at Kindle. It's 5 stars on iBooks. It's at Barnes & Noble, Nook, and just about everywhere.
Great. Sounds like you're really making progress and moving the community. So good luck with everything.
Thank you. And they can check my website for upcoming events, and that's where I will put the information on the upcoming seminars.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Sherry.